Hello Halo fans, welcome back to the channel where I talk about everything Halo. From story-based lore theories to online arena multiplayer, every part of the beloved Halo series is extraordinary in its own right. If you haven't read the video title already, today I'm going to theorize on a comment left by High Radiation Gaming on my analysis video determining if the Halo 5 Cortana is the original Cortana we see in the previous Halo games. What my theory today will be over are what are the events that will lead up to and take place when Master Chief confronts the Cortana from Halo 5 in Halo Infinite. For those of you who are already fluent with the story and lore of the Halo franchise, feel free to skip to the timestamp in the description. But for those of you who have not played either Halo 4 or Halo 5, or for newcomers to the Halo series, I'm about to briefly touch on the important events in the Halo series that are relevant to this video up until the end of Halo 5 so that everyone is caught up to speed. At the end of the events of Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, and Halo 3, Master Chief along with his AI Cortana are adrift in unknown space aboard a destroyed starship with no way back home from their previous campaign. The original enemies of the series were the Covenant, a combination of alien races who wanted to eradicate humanity, and the Flood, a zombie-like race whose goal is to consume all sentient life in the galaxy. This second enemy is the premise and the reason of the name Halo in Halo Combat Evolved. Originally, Cortana, our AI companion, lets us know the ring world known as Halo is believed to be
some kind of weapon, one with vast, unimaginable power.
That's true. The Covenant kept saying that whoever controls Halo controls the fate of the universe.
The Halo ring, along with many other things, were left behind by an ancient race known as the Forerunners who mysteriously disappeared before humanity's arrival. In an attempt to gain control of the Halo ring first, the Covenant accidentally released the Flood from their containment on the Halo ring and started an outbreak that caused their numbers to grow at an out-of-control rate. As a result, the need to quarantine or kill the Flood becomes necessary. Shortly after his first encounter with the Flood, Master Chief meets an old Forerunner artificial intelligence named 343 Guilty Spark, who guides him through the necessary steps to activate Halo and exterminate the Flood. Unknown to Chief until the very last moment, Halo is not exactly what humanity or the Covenant believed it to be. Upon attempting to activate the Halo ring, Chief is stopped by his AI companion Cortana, who explains its true purpose. With this realization of the horror of not only the Flood, but by the power of the Halo ring, Master Chief, over the course of the next two games, learns that there's not only one, but 7 Halo rings, all with the power to eradicate sentient life in the galaxy. Furthermore, after the Covenant attempted to activate a different Halo ring and ignored not only humanity, but Guilty Spark in their warnings of what the Halo ring actually does, put the rings in a position to be remotely activated from a place known as the Ark. From there, all of the Halo rings can be fired simultaneously. By the end of Halo 3, many events take place such as the changing of allegiance by one of the Covenant races known as the Elites. They learn the truth about Halo and its purpose. This led to the destruction of the Ark by Master Chief and the new head of the Elites known as the Arbiter. This final event leaves Chief and Cortana adrift in space outside the destruction of the Ark with their portal to Earth closed and no means of communication. On the ship, Master Chief goes into a cryogenic sleep to preserve his life while Cortana must wait by herself over the course of the next 4 years until Halo 4, where they arrive at a Forerunner planet known as Requiem. Here, they accidentally release an ancient Forerunner known as the Didact, who is bent on eradicating humanity for actions they committed prior to the first firing of the Halo rings in order to destroy the Flood. Throughout this game, Chief pursues and eventually defeats the Didact while very early on learning that Cortana is going through a process called rampancy. Rampancy is a process where AIs, which are made from the brains of deceased people, Cortana being the only known exception, deteriorate after 7 years due to their incredibly high level of information gained in their time of existence. At the end of Halo 4, Chief defeats the Didact at the cost of Cortana, who in a last-ditch effort manages to shield him from the destruction of the Didact's ship. Finally, as we're reaching the events of Halo 5, Chief has already been reunited with his old squad Blue Team that he fought with in the years prior to the events of Halo Combat Evolved. Chief, while on a mission with Blue Team, sees a vision of Cortana and chooses to pursue it despite its possible repercussions. A new character named Locke is then sent on a mission to find and return Chief so he does not reunite with Cortana. Throughout this game, Locke and his team chase Chief across the galaxy, meeting the Arbiter and other prevalent characters. After Chief's reunion with Cortana, which leads to his capture by her, and the knowledge of her plans to use Forerunner technology to enslave the galaxy, Locke is able to free Chief and ends with the reunion with the creator of soldiers like Master Chief and Cortana. Now that everyone is caught up to speed, I want to go into the theory I have for today's video. We see from the events in Halo 5, as well as Halo 3, after hearing Cortana's message of her solution to the Flood, that with the lack of clear evidence, statement, or reasoning, Chief is willing to risk everything in order to reconcile with Cortana despite her condition at these times. This seems to provide an explanation for why Chief's actions in the Halo Infinite's Discover Hope trailer were so aggressive and almost confrontational immediately after being rescued from being stranded in space for what is known to be an extended period of time. This can be seen in the Pelican pilot's change in hair length and other key indicators. But I want to look at a few other details in the same Halo Infinite trailer, as well as events from Halo 4 and 5. One of the first things that can be noticed when Chief's armor power is restored is that there is a system in place in Chief's armor that is for AI intrusion countermeasures. Understandably, with Cortana's current condition and Chief's willingness to risk everything, including himself, this system was probably put in place by Dr. Halsey, the creator of Cortana and the Mjolnir armor, in order to prevent Chief from having issues with his armor while attempting to confront Cortana. We then see the lack of an AI in his armor in his system diagnostics when his armor is first kicked back on. However, something that should be taken into note is that Chief has an empty AI chip in his hand ready for use. On this chip reads the serial number CTN0453-0. What's to point out here is the Cortana we know from the previous Halo games has the serial number CTN0452-9, stated here on the level High Charity in Halo 3.
This is UNSC AI serial number CTN0452-9. I am a monument to all your sins.
While we can clearly see this chip is empty and does not currently house an AI, let's take a look at some of the other notifications that appear on Chief's visor when he inserts the chip. The first thing that can be clearly read is Weapon Containment Device inserted and AI not detected. So what could all this mean for Master Chief's journey and his reconciliation with Cortana in Halo Infinite? Very quickly, let's go back to the end of the diagnostics boot up sequence and watch the red flashes at the end one more time. Fortunately, to the key eye of a Twitter user named Zpal, they noticed the red bar flashes were actually a making of a readable QR code and took pictures of the individual series of flashes to put together. After putting these together and reading the QR code, the link took them to an audio file that is now believed to be the audio for the end of the Discover Hope trailer. Here is the missing audio played with the end portion of the Discover Hope trailer instead of its normal audio, and the link to the user's Twitter account is in the description below.
This is part of me. I don't know why. I don't know how, but it is me.
Now, with the idea in mind that there are two parts or versions of Cortana present in Halo Infinite, let's take a look at the possibilities of what or who each could be. First, let's ask the big question. Is the Cortana we hear speaking in the secret audio clip the original Cortana? And if she is, does she have a form of memory loss and is finding a piece of her old self? If so, this could be explained by the events in Halo 4, where during the final mission while on the Didact ship, Cortana split herself and her rampant fragments into the system that can be seen and explained in these portions of the level.
What did you just do?
I ejected my rampant personality spikes into the system. If I do that in each of those beams, the copies can overwhelm the composer's shielding.
If this is the case, Chief has already recovered the original Cortana at the end of the Discover Hope trailer, but what is his intent now that he has found her in the current condition? For an answer to this question, let's take a look at a few lines of dialogue on the level Requiem from Halo 4.
About my condition, I didn't want to mention it, seeing as how it's a complete long shot, but since you brought it up, it is possible that getting home could help me find a solution for my rampancy.
How?
Well, as far as I know, I'm the only AI ever generated from living tissue. A clone of Dr. Halsey, to be precise. It may be possible to recompile my neural net by replicating those same conditions. But that means getting back to Halsey soon.
Throughout Halo 4, Cortana makes reference to the idea that Dr. Halsey is the crucial factor in fixing Cortana. As we can see, Chief immediately understands the requirements needed in Halo 4 with his desire to get her home to Dr. Halsey. Further evidence that supports this is that he would have never abandoned this particular Cortana throughout all of his choices that he makes in Halo 5. If this really is the original Cortana, Chief's intent throughout all of Halo Infinite would clearly be to recompile the lost pieces of Cortana with the tools divided by Dr. Halsey. But let's change our answer to my original question. If the Cortana we hear in the secret audio clip isn't the original, the following question would immediately be asked. If this isn't the original Cortana, then who is it? I want to start by examining a cutscene at the end of the level Composer. Cortana expresses her concern that she will be replaced by another version of her.
They'll pair you with another AI. Maybe even another Cortana model if Halsey lets them.
That's not going to happen.
It won't be me. You know that, right?
What this scene lets us know is that Cortana believes Dr. Halsey is fully capable of making another Cortana, so much so that she verbally states that the new one will not be her. This begs the question in the re-examination of the AI chip that we see in the Halo Infinite Discover Hope trailer. As we now know, there is a difference between the AI chip's serial number and Cortana's serial number. Is there a possibility that a clone Cortana was made in order to combat the original? Oddly enough, this would also explain why the Cortana we hear in the secret audio clip does not know or recognize the piece of her she's discovered. This Cortana has actually never seen it before, but still recognizes it as a part of herself. This would also make sense for the title of the weapon containment device on that particular AI chip. Rather than the original Cortana being the weapon needed to be contained, it is actually meant for the new Cortana that is made to help the Chief combat and possibly incorporate the original version. Should this be the case, the reunion of Chief with the original Cortana could become hostile much quicker due to Chief holding a replacement version of her, so to speak, rather than just a containment device. Well, that's going to be it for this Halo theory video. Please let me know what you guys think about this theory or even your own theory about Chief's reconciliation with Cortana in Halo Infinite in the comment section below. Also, make sure to include any other topics you guys might want me to cover for a future video. And if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe for future content. If you guys ever want to message me directly about anything Halo, feel free to message me on Instagram with the link in the description below. Be sure to check out my podcast every Wednesday where I cover more about my Halo theories, multiplayer, and guests' personal opinion on everything Halo. Lastly, if anyone's interested, I do custom game nights every week from 9 p.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you guys would like to join, just make sure to subscribe here on my YouTube channel and check out my Instagram link in the description for the dates. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you theorists next time.